everyone, I'm Jenny P. Alejandro, your teacher in TLE Food Processing 9. Today, let's make our day a fruitful one. In the previous lesson, the topic is all about raw materials needed in processing food by fermentation and pickling.
Let's recall!
What are the steps in preparing the raw materials needed in fermentation and pickling of fruits and vegetables? That is right! Weighing, sorting, and grading of raw materials are the steps needed in preparing the raw materials. Next, what are the factors to be considered in the selection of fruits and vegetables? That is right! The wholesomeness, cleanliness, uniformity of sizes, nutritive value, freedom from blemishes, degree of perfection in shape, and freedom from undesirable substance. Are you ready for the next lesson? Before we move on to our next lesson, I will tell you a verse from the Bible about the first miracle of Jesus in Cana. In John chapter 2 verses 1 to 11, there was wedding in Cana of Galilee. Jesus, his mother, Virgin Mary, and his disciples are all present. At the wedding, they run out of wine, and Jesus turns the water into a wine in an instant. Isn't it amazing, class? Yes, it is! Today, I will show you how to make calamansi wine, but not like how Jesus did because we do not have the power to do it. I will show you how to make calamansi wine following the process of fruit wine fermentation. Here is a brief background about calamansi wine. Calamansi is a kind of sour fruit that resembles a small mandarin. This kind of fruit is indigenous to the Philippines that is usually used in beverages or in sauces to enhance the flavor of food. There are researches conducted to find out if the calamansi fruit extract can be a substitute as main ingredient in wine making, and it turns out that calamansi fruit extract can be a substitute main ingredient in wine making. This is it. I will now show you how to make calamansi wine.
Before we start making the calamansi wine, there are a few reminders we should always remember before preparing food. It is to wear your PPE. What is the importance of PPE?
Personal protective equipment or PPE is very important to avoid food contamination. It also prepares you for any health and safety risks. Here are the tools and utensils needed in preparing wine: strainer, chopping board and knife, mixing bowl, funnel, measuring cup, ladle, wine bottle, and a piece of cotton. And the ingredients are 250 ml of calamansi juice, 1 cup sugar, 2 teaspoons of yeast, and 250 ml of lukewarm water. The first step is the extraction of the calamansi juice. We have two different methods of extraction. Number 1 is the by-pressure method and the aqueous method. In the by-pressure method, a pressure is applied in order to extract the juice of the fruits. And in the by-aqueous method, a water is added and heat is applied. In this demonstration, I applied the by-pressure method. Be careful in handling your knives to avoid cuts. We have many calamansi trees in our backyard. That's why I chose calamansi fruit as main ingredient in wine making. In the Philippines, there are a lot of farmers of calamansi, and calamansi are sold at the market in cheaper price. Producing calamansi wine benefits the farmers and the consumers because The calamansi wine is rich in vitamins and nutrients. In making calamansi wine, I use the fully ripened calamansi fruit and half or not. Then, strain the calamansi extract using a strainer to remove the seeds. If you do not have strainers in your homes, you can use a clean cloth in straining the calamansi extract. The next step is to dissolve the sugar in lukewarm water and stir it to one direction. A lukewarm water is neither hot nor cold. It is comfortably warm and a little warmer than our natural body temperature. Then, add the yeast gently but don't stir until it froths. What is froth? A froth is the dirt came from the yeast. Then after a few minutes, slowly remove the formed froth or the dirt came from the yeast and filter it using strainer and stir it again in one direction. You can transfer the wine in a glass for you to pour the calamansi wine into the bottle easily using a funnel. Make sure that the bottle is cleaned and sterilized. Then after that, cover it with a piece of cotton. I am done with the first stage of fruit wine fermentation. Make sure to store it properly by placing it in a cool, dry place away from light and sunshine. After 2 to 4 weeks, fermentation is the decantation. Transfer the fermented wine to another bottle. Do not disturb the sediments. Then, another 1 month of wine fermentation. Ferment it up to 7 months, depend on the acid content of the fruit. Did you follow the procedure, class? If yes, very good! Before you start making your own wine, here is a reminder on how do we achieve a successful fermentation of wine. First is follow the recipe. Second, apply steps in grading and sorting of raw materials. And lastly, apply the steps in processing wine accurately. You will be guided and graded using these scoring rubrics. All the steps and procedures are followed according to standard procedures. Demonstrate the skills with speed and accuracy. That is 20 points. The selection of raw materials is good. Appropriate selection of equipment, tools, and utensils. The measurement of materials are accurate. The cooking, heating, and temperature requirement is followed. That will be 10 points. Carefulness in handling materials, consciousness in doing tasks. The wearing of PPEs, that will be 10 points, and the appearance and color and taste and flavor of that will be 10 points for a total of 50 points. Class, you are going to make your own wine. Here are some of the examples of fruits that you can use in making your wine. Kamias, cocoa, tomato, bignay, and citrus. Or you can choose any fruit that can be fermented that is readily available in your barangays. After making your video presentation, kindly submit it to the official Facebook group on or before March 26, 2022. Again, I'm your teacher Jenny saying stay safe, healthy, and productive. Bye! See you next video lesson!